Hi guys, welcome to Counterpoints. My name is Connor, and today we're going to be breaking down the Expanse, specifically when Mars nuked Earth. You should check out previous episodes, but for a quick recap, humanity is a multiplanetary species with three major factions: culturally and technologically stagnant but powerful Earth, technologically and militarily advanced but few in number Mars, and the anarchic frontiersmen of the Belt. These factions are currently fighting over an alien bioweapon, the protomolecule. This conflict has escalated into outright war between Earth and Mars, with cabals on both sides pushing escalation so that they can profit politically, financially, and ideologically. Let's take it from there.
The Eros impact crater when the astonishing event occurred. Experts throughout the system are now training their instruments on Venus to observe the activity of what multiple sources are calling the proto-molecule.
In what many believe is a prelude to war. Planetary defenses have been placed on high alert as UNN ships were dispatched from Earth and Luna to reinforce fleets in the Belt and outer planets. After accusing the UN of assassinating Defense Minister Korshunov
And imperialism of Earth for far too long. And now their actions have brought us to the brink. If they wish to test us in battle, we are ready. We will not back down. Our people are united in purpose. Ours shall prevail.
Is pregnant. Most Belters believe that this time, war is inevitable.
We have confirmed ID on the contact. It is a Martian stealth SEAM ballistic missile platform. It holds 10 planet busters, each with 20 high-yield MIRV warheads.
Our watchtower satellites are the only things that can penetrate their stealth tech, but it's far from perfect. This is the first time that we've been able to locate two of their platforms at once. It's a hell of a break and a golden opportunity.
Now, the Martians are always moving these platforms, and they're using sensor blinding, so when they move, we lose them. But as a group, they're always positioned to optimize strike times to Earth.
So if we know where two of them are, we can predict where the rest of them most likely will be.
How many platforms are out there?
Intel says 5, and confidence is high. If we can find the other 3, then we can use a planetary railguns to simultaneously destroy them all before launch.
A preemptive strike?
Yes.
It would have to be perfect. If it's not, Mars would retaliate immediately. With justification, millions of lives would be at risk.
Yes, but sir, our operatives in the MCRN command are convinced that they're on the verge of launching anyways.
Why would they?
Because they're losing the war, and they know it.
Well, fighting in the outer planets is different than bringing it to our own doorstep. Mars isn't stupid or crazy. They could be deliberately leaking, pushing us to the peace table.
Sir, that's not what's happening.
If this doesn't work, millions will die.
People are dying right now, our people. When we began this war, we had a 5-to-1 advantage in ships. Now it's down to 3-to-1. Every minute this war goes on costs us more lives. Every loss that we inflict on Mars pushes them closer to launch. If we do this, we save lives, because it will end the war.
Find the other platforms. I'll give you my decision then.
After Eros was driven into Venus, the work of the protomolecule continued there. With enough organic material within Eros itself, it began leaching minerals and non-organic material into continuing its construction. The Arbogast was a United Nations Navy research vessel dispatched to monitor the protomolecule, but it got too close and it was ultimately disassembled and absorbed, killing the crew. Earth moved to a war footing due to the nuking of the Canterbury, the destruction of the Donager, the protomolecule incidents, and the Battle of Ganymede. Earth tried to reassert its control of its holdings in the Belt, sparking skirmishes with Martian warships. Mars is not to be cowed, though. While they have a significantly smaller population than Earth, they are a unified culture around technology and military supremacy, willing to fight and die to defend their home from subjugation. It is their desire to maintain their independence and terraform Mars into a new Garden of Eden. The Belters are caught in the crossfire, as it is their wealth that the Earthers and Martians are fighting over. The people of the Belt have to balance two pressing priorities: their own political independence against simple survival. United Nations spy satellites have spotted Mars' first strike capability, they're Stealth C ballistic missile platforms. They're conceivably ships, but their role is not to move about the system, but instead to linger in predictable positions so as to give Mars a nuclear first strike capacity. Stealth obscures their position, and Mars moves them around to maximize their survivability. Earth wouldn't dare a conventional war on Mars's surface, at least partially because of the existence of these platforms. 5 of them have 10 Planet Buster missiles, with each missile splitting into 20 separate warheads. A single one of these missiles could devastate Earth if their full payload was unleashed. With 5 platforms firing 10 missiles each and 20 individual warheads, that means that the defenses of Earth could be overwhelmed by 1,000 nuclear weapons at a single time, almost guaranteeing the destruction of the planet. This threat remains hypothetical and a deterrent against Earth's colonial ambitions until Undersecretary Ehrenreich discovers their location. Undersecretary Ehrenreich is an Earth patriot and a part of the cabal working with Jules-Pierre Mao. He is the equivalent of the vice president of the planet, and he views Secretary General Sorrento Gillis as a cowardly and unserious man. The Secretary General is great at reading a teleprompter with a convincing level of fake sincerity, but he has no ambitions beyond the perpetuation of his own power and popularity. Undersecretary Ehrenreich does have a clear vision, and he is ruthless in pursuing it. The Undersecretary believes that allowing Martian independence was a mistake and an existential one. Earth may be the birthplace of humanity, but with each year, Mars technologically surpasses them, widening the gap. If Mars continues to push its edge and successfully terraforms their planet, they will surpass Earth. Earth will either become a vassal state of the Martians or be destroyed as a vestigial historical relic. To prevent this calamity, he is willing to do anything to reassert control over Mars and cement his own legacy as a visionary man. The protomolecule experiments of Jules-Pierre Mao gives him a weapon of mass destruction with which to bring Mars to heel, but hopefully he can push this war into Mars's surrender without such drastic measures. If he can convince the Secretary General to destroy Mars's first strike ability, then Earth will win the conventional war and be able to retake the Red Planet as Earth's colony. It is actually the General Secretary's political self-interest that checks the Undersecretary's reckless ambition. The General Secretary will not destroy the Martians' first strike capability unless he can be nearly certain of success. If the strikes failed, Mars would be forced to launch in order to maintain their first strike deterrence. This wouldn't just mean millions of people wiped out, it could mean the actual destruction of Earth. Undersecretary Ehrenreich bristles under what he believes to be cowardice, but he is restrained by the yoke of his political position.
Sir, the location of MCRN platform number 5 has been confirmed.
What do the simulations say?
Complete success, knocking out all 5 before they can launch, 82%.
And if they do manage to launch, what will the casualties be then?
We estimate it would
That's very unlikely, and our planetary defenses are in perfect position. But right now, we have the advantage of total surprise. It won't last forever, but our rail guns are targeted, warmed up, and ready. All we need is for you to give the order to fire.
I have a sacred obligation to the people of this planet. 82% is not good enough. Stand down. Thought you'd left. Have a drink.
Thank you, sir. How's the speech coming?
Good. Anna knows how to reach the best in people. This speech could well define my term in office.
Well, that's a shame.
Excuse me?
I understand why you canceled the strike, but with all due respect, that was the moment to write your legacy, not some speech.
You're being short-sighted. Leaders aren't just remembered for the wars they win.
No, they're remembered for how they moved civilizations forward. This isn't about defeating Mars. It's about what's happening on Venus. Eros proved that no one on this planet's safe anymore, and we need to end this because we don't know who or what our next enemy is. And if the thought of casualties scares you now, imagine another Eros, one that we can't even stop. If you end this war, you'll be remembered as the man who united humanity in the face of first contact. And that's a legacy you don't need anyone else to write. On your command, sir.
Fire.
One away, track is good.
One is away.
2 is away. 3 is away. 4 is away.
5 showing red. Failure to launch.
What's happening?
I'm just checking, sir.
Check incoming.
What the fuck is going on?
We have a launch malfunction on 5.
They need to shoot, goddammit.
Yes, sir.
5 is away. Target 1 is scratched. Scratch 2. Scratch 3. Scratch 4. They got one off before we hit them.
Jesus Christ. Status.
Impact in South America, tip of Amazonia. Closest city to ground zero is Guayas Mayor. Total population in the blast zone approximately 2 million.
What happened with the railguns?
It was a power cycling malfunction from charging up and standing down earlier, sir. Watchtowers have detected no other launches. SATCOM believes we have eliminated the MCR's first strike capability.
Undersecretary Aaron Wright uses the protomolecule incidents to spur the General Secretary into action. Whether this is simple political manipulation or earnest belief is up for debate. Aaron Wright echoes the fears and beliefs of Jules-Pierre Mao in Dresden, that the protomolecule has changed everything. The Undersecretary believes that Mars is an existential threat, but that pales in comparison to what the protomolecule represents. Not only is it first contact with an alien species, but it's a potent biological weapon of undetermined power. It could represent just one weapon in the armory of an unknown and non-human enemy that is capable of destroying the population of entire planets. Additionally, reverse engineering this weapon could unlock the stars for humanity. This could be simple Machiavellian pushing by the Undersecretary, but these are the sincere beliefs of Jules-Pierre Mao and are what have motivated them both into atrocity. The Undersecretary reasons that rather than focusing on being popular through highfalutin speeches, the General Secretary should instead focus on uniting humanity in the face of first contact. They should bring Mars to heel, as it should be, before they face an even more dangerous enemy. Undersecretary Aaron Wright appeals to General Secretary Sorrento Gillis' sense of political legacy to motivate him to launch, and he finally gets the authorization he's looking for. Earth has orbital railguns that fire massive tungsten rounds with incredible accuracy and speed. The tungsten projectile is loaded into a barrel that is then electromagnetically charged with one side positive and one side negative. When powered, the projectile is flung out at incredible speed by virtue of the Lorentz force. The orbital railguns are building-sized constructions and have to use thrusters to maneuver into accurate targeting solutions and to recover from recoil once fired. The railgun launch is timed so that all targets will be struck within moments of each other. 4 of the railguns are fired properly, with the 5th one having a power cycling issue. This delays the launch, leading to disaster. Mars is able to warn their final platform that the others have been destroyed, and they are able to get off a missile as they're destroyed. The Planet Buster sails towards Earth's defense grid, and the cabinet can only look on in horror, praying that the defenses hold. The defense grid is a combination of missile and railgun systems meant to destroy incoming missiles or meteors. While formidable, it can be overwhelmed by multiple fast-moving targets, which the Martian Planet Buster is. The Martian Planet Buster unleashes its payload and a single missile makes it through. The missile detonates in South America, vaporizing more than 2 million people. Undersecretary Aaron Wright seems to wrestle with the weight of what he has set in motion, but only for a moment. When he inquires what went wrong, he is informed that standing up and standing down earlier caused the power cycling issue, and that delayed the launch. Rather than taking account for his own complicity in these deaths, he glares at the General Secretary, moving the full weight of the incident from himself and onto the cowardice of his superior. He can blame the deaths on the General Secretary's inaction, which just drives him further down the path of conspiracy and treason. If you want to support the channel, please remember to like this video, share it with your friends, ring the bell for new videos, and comment for the comment gods. Your viewership helps me in the algorithm and is appreciated. Also, be sure to check out Counterpoints 40K and Star Wars linked in the description and the homepage. If you want to take your support a bit further, please become a YouTube member or join us at patreon.com/counterpoints. Check out the other videos on the channel, support our sponsors, and I'll catch you in the next one. Until the end.